Okay, this section is titled Implications for Further Study. In Quranic studies, there is tremendous scope for textual criticism to trace the history of the development of the text. For periods 1 through 3, establishing a more precise earliest text form incorporating palimpsests and corrections in manuscripts would provide a better basic text for form and source critical studies. This would also improve the precision of the timetable of the Quran codification. In manuscripts with vowels, this can be done only by examining their specific consonantal features where these have been recorded in writing, as has been done by Dutton and Robb. This can also be done to a degree in manuscripts that have dots for voweling systems, as has been done by Dutton. This also needs to be done in more fully vocalized manuscripts, as has been done by Brockett. A particular task in this enterprise needing attention is isolating reading systems in addition to the 7, 10, and 14 that were in use up until the time of Ibn Mujahid from 936 AD. For instance, more study is needed on how the 7, 10, and 14 resuscitation systems come to hold their position of prominence and how the 10 developed further into 80 resuscitation systems. Tracing these reading systems in extant manuscripts would be a useful step towards this. The physical corrections in extant Quranic manuscripts need examination for the presence and percentage of dogmatic corrections, orthographic updating, and confirming the text to standard text forms. This would help bring greater precision to our understanding of the chronological development of Arabic orthography, as well as give historical data for the times when outside pressure was brought to bear on the text to stabilize it to particular reading. The Quranic palimpsest should be sought and used especially for this kind of study. Also, more work is needed tracing the transitions from a predominantly oral literary environment to early Islam to one dominated by written literary conventions. Changes in orthography and standardization of spelling of names and other words and details examination of the palimpsest could all contribute to this goal. This also would provide historical data to chart an encounter of early Islam with the more literate cultures of late Near Eastern antiquity. Okay, now we come to the last and final section in this chapter of conclusions, and this one is titled The Closing Thoughts. Instead of the pure autographic text forms being preserved, what has been preserved and transmitted by the Quran is a text form that was chosen from amidst a group of others, which was then edited and canonized at the expense of these others, and has been improved upon in order to make it conform to a desired ideal. Although the transmission of the text of the Quran in early manuscripts shows evidence of editing, control, correction, and preservation, the textual tradition shows fidelity to a standard form of the text that within the flexible convictions of orthography for the time represents a very high degree of precision. Though they are few in number, textual variants that show intentionality and that affect the meaning of the text can be found. Evidence of readings attributed to the companions of Muhammad can also be found. However, what cannot be determined are the autographic text forms of what the earliest Muslims considered to be the full corpus of revelations given through Muhammad and left at his death, or the authoritative text forms of his companions. Instead, a strongly edited version of one corpus has been preserved and transmitted, made between 20 and 100 years after Muhammad's death. It is impossible to know how much material was left out or changed in order to make this edited version, though from all indications it was material of a similar nature to what was preserved. The Quran, as it is preserved today, is a book providing a glimpse into many eras of Quran development. The consonantal text preserves much of what was considered Quran material from at least the beginning of the 8th century. The diacritical marks on the consonants bear testimony to a period of development between the 7th and 10th centuries. The vowel points also bear witness to developments of orthography in the 9th and 10th centuries. The pattern of resuscitation that is found in printed text provides testimony to the 80 systems of the 10 authorized reading systems of the Quran that were standardized in the 10th century. The actual form of the printed text also bears witness to the 20 centuries, in that it was produced specifically for printing and wide acceptance to the international audience. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have the chapter on the conclusions from the book Textual Criticism in the Quran Manuscripts by Keith E. Small. The book is available wherever books are sold, and particularly Amazon. Thank you so much, and have a great day.